My name is Lindsay Bergstrom, and in this video we're going to review verb tenses in English and when you should use them in your learning diaries. So, how do you know what to use as a verb tense in your learning diaries? Most commonly, you'll be using simple present and simple past. Simple present is used to describe habits and general truths or statements. For example, this sentence, they eat brunch every Saturday, describes a habit, the same action repeated over and over. So we use the present tense, to eat. Another example, water freezes at 0 degrees. This sentence shows a general statement, so we use the present tense. Notice that the subject of the sentence is third person singular, so I need to add an S at the end of freeze. Simple past should be used to describe a finished action in the past, as well as when describing a series of finished actions in the past. For example, yesterday I went to the store. This is a finished action, it happened yesterday, so we use simple past, I went. Even if I add other activities, such as I bought some fruits, then I went home, all of these actions happened in a finished time frame, yesterday. So they're all in the simple past. I went, I bought, I went. Let's look at some examples from your learning diaries. Here we have a sentence in the present tense because it is expressing an opinion or a general statement about all of the different speaking workshops. So that's good. This sentence uses present tense, which implies you're talking generally about what always happens in every workshop. However, here you're speaking about a specific workshop, the ages workshop, which is finished in the past. So you need to use the simple past, spoke. Also, we say spaces in our home, not of our home. Next, we have a sentence that uses the present tense, which would be okay if you're talking generally, but here you're talking about the specific grammar module, so you need simple past, helped. Here you've used the verb tense present continuous, we are working. This tense is used to describe an action that's taking place right now. Here you're talking about the listening activity in the past, so worked is better. We talked about using simple past to describe a series of finished actions. Now we're going to talk about consistency. If you start describing something in the past, be consistent in your use of verb tense. Here, you're talking about a task you completed in the past, the oral comprehension. To begin, we have was, which is a simple past, so that's good. However, the following sentence, still describing something viewed in the past, suddenly passes into the present. You should keep using the past tense here, was. Remember, things don't talk, it was about. In this example, once again, we start out using simple past and then switch suddenly to the present, then back to the past at the end. Both of these sentences are describing activities completed in the past, so we should use the simple past, worked. It's more consistent with we had and we talked. Also, we talked to each other. Don't forget your prepositions. This sentence is consistent with simple past, had and saw, because it's describing multiple actions completed in the past. To express negatives in the simple past and the simple present, we use the auxiliary to do plus not. For example, I do not like coffee. However, when we express negatives in the simple past, it is the auxiliary to do that takes the past tense, and the main verb should be in the infinitive. For example, this sentence places both the auxiliary and the main verb in the past. This is incorrect. You should write, I didn't see the care worker. Just as the auxiliary do takes the past tense, it also is conjugated to the subject. So here we have don't, but the subject is third person singular, so it should be doesn't. One elder who doesn't have many visits from his family, once again, has third person singular, his new one. When sentences include the verb to be, we do not need to use the auxiliary to do to form the negative. We simply add the word not after the conjugated form of to be. So this first sentence is the present and is making a general statement. But this association is not, and we would say very widespread, not too widespread. The second sentence is talking about an activity completed in the past, so it should say the pronunciation activity was not a success or wasn't a success. A lot of you use had to in your learning diaries to describe activities you were required to do in the modules and during workshops. We had to talk for 2 minutes about a topic, and we had to watch a video about adjectives. This is good. Here, we we have a double past tense. You should write I had to find. No past tense here since had is already in the past. In this example, the past tense is in the wrong place. You should write I had to do. And here you just forgot the to. We had to choose a person. Similar to had to, other modal verbs are also followed by the infinitive. Common verbs to see are can, will, and should. If this sentence is meant to be in the present, it should read, I can hear testimonies. However, since it was describing what was heard by the student during a completed activity in the past, simple past is better. I heard testimonies. Here, the modal verb should is confused with had to. Should is more for giving advice or suggestions, as I have been doing during this video. So you should replace should with had to, which shows requirements. Often you use present perfect tense, which is have plus the past participle, when you shouldn't. I think it's because some of you are translating directly from French, where the passé composé structure is the same as present perfect structure, but they don't mean the same thing. Passé composé is simple past in English. Take a look at this sentence. If you translate word for word from French, j'ai étudié, you get I have studied. But this is the structure of the present perfect tense in English. You can't use present perfect when talking about a specific moment in time, such as in this part. If you say I have studied adjectives, it means that you've done this at some point in your life, but you don't specify when exactly. So what you are trying to say is I studied, simple past. Again, here you specify a specific moment in the listening activity. So you should say I saw, simple past. So to sum it up, keep it simple. When writing about finished activities completed in the past, use simple past. Don't make things complicated. Here's a good example. In the workshop, we spent the whole hour doing speaking activities, we worked on our speaking skills, we had fun, and we learned new things about our classmates, all in the simple past. Here we have simple present is because we're expressing an opinion, I think, and Quizlet is a good way to learn vocabulary, stating a fact, both in simple present. I hope that now you understand better when to use which tenses during your learning diaries. Thanks for watching!